This video is about Celestial Trial, more specifically Celestial Trial for free-to-play players or players from early to mid-game. So the core principle is actually just Dahlia, Atropos, and Leandra, and try to include the counter hero of each stage, and try to include the double pledge combo if possible. So yeah, for this stage where there's this Avengers stage, and yeah, so the Avengers bonus, these bonus, they actually doesn't matter as much, surprisingly, because look, it increased the attack of all allies by 200% and increased the attack of Avengers synergy made by 600, and that actually doesn't matter because if you include Dahlia will already using this passive effect, it can increase your attack by more than that. It's actually 1500%. So it's best to just use your strongest team for all of these instead of trying to tailor and trying to activate the synergy. Obviously, it's nice if you can activate this synergy, but it's not necessary. So, for example, for this stage, I use Dahlia, Atropos, and Leandra, and I need to counter defense, like increase defense, which Leandra can counter, which is good because we are already using her anyway. And then for the Holy Shield one, you can use. There's not much heroes that can counter it. That's already good, but you can use Catherine if you have her. It's really good, and I think Elder is also pretty good because she can convert healing into her own attack, and that's also pretty good. So I'm using her because I got one copy of her for free. But the best option I think is Catherine because she convert healing to her own attack as well as the attack of all allies. So yeah, and that's this stage. So and the for the other slot I just use Selling because he deals a lot of damage. But it can be other like Navi if she's your main carry and or maybe Halisa too. Yeah. And for the Emily for this stage, it's like I get to include the ASA combo because for the because to counter Fortitude, I can use Lachesis, and Lachesis is part of the double pledge combo, which is ASA combo. Like check out, I made a video for it if you don't know what that is. And for the plague, wait, who counter plague again? Yeah, I think Dahlia counters plague. Yeah, Dahlia can counters plague. She grants immunity to plague for all your allies, but it's not shown here. That's why it doesn't say countered. But because this list, they didn't make this list automatically update, so they updated this once, but now they are the new hero like Dahlia that can counter plague. It's not included in here, but yeah. So Dahlia can counter plague, so that's why this is also a pretty easy stage. And let's move on to the next stage. This is for Actina. It prompts Valianter, but again, we're not using Valianter as well because it's not that necessary. And yeah, so this stage, for this type of stage, is actually pretty interesting. So none of these two mercenary need counter. So obviously I countered this one, like, but I'm mostly using Seraphina for the double pledge combo. It's not to counter this hero. You don't have to counter Medusa because it increases attack, and you don't need to. Like it doesn't matter because you're dead anyway. So like you may not notice my note here. So this is a core principle of the Celestial Trial and a lot of other PvE stages, because you don't need to. You should focus on defense, but you only focus on the defense that's like Holy Shield and dodge. Like to survive, use Holy Shield and dodge. The reason is because the enemy's attack is too high. Using conventional ability to survive is not possible. So it's also the same for like the Crimson Town here. So if you're trying to survive this using the conventional method, like I'm gonna deploy support hero to increase max HP, you're not gonna get to 141 stage because like their attack is so powerful, like it one shot your unit. Instead, what you do is you use Dahlia to copy Holy Shield, you use Leandra to grant Holy Shield, and Mavis has the revive, and Elmer can basically taunt them, and he himself cannot die, and the Serafina can grant the protection. So this is how you survive this stage, instead of using the conventional method of like survive. So basically, health and defense doesn't do much in the scenarios of a lot of PvE stages. So, and for the healing maiden Lachesis, so it's interesting because this mercenary has very low health for whatever reason. So you can just kill her instead of like you don't need to like try to counter her. She's just gonna die. And let's see, I can showcase it right now. Yeah, see, like she has surprisingly low health, and yeah, she's dead. So you don't need to counter her as well. And this is the same for the other stages. Like I believe one stage also has, yeah, the healing maiden here. You also don't need to counter her. Like yeah, you see I'm not countering her because like I don't need to. Like she's just gonna be dead. Uh, she's just gonna die to my other abilities. Oh, she's a lot tankier in this stage. But if we move to the end, we'll see that she just died to random things. Yeah. So yeah, so this mercenary also doesn't need to. You don't need to counter her as well. But if you are using Halisa anyway, like it doesn't harm to counter her. Yeah, and for this stage, it's also the same. Like it's the same mercenary as the Percival stage. So my team is the same. So you can actually use the same team for these two stages. Yeah. And for Merlin, this one is actually pretty special. First, you need to counter bind, and to counter bind, you can use this hero as well. So this hero also counters bind. Yeah, it removes bind from all allies, and it's not included in the list. Although it is actually better, I think, to use the other, like Karnak or Ophelia, because they are faster. So they only remove bind when they take action. So if you have them take action earlier, would be better. So you notice in this stage I'm not using Leandra because like this stage you need to have glory and synergy, because one of the enemy's ability is to apply bind to you, and that's why this one is a little different. It's not using this principle that I had, but yeah, if you have the glory and units, you're still gonna push pretty far. And yeah, and for the last stage, yeah, we already talked about it here. Like you need to counter curse, and to counter curse, you can use Navi or yeah, the Lysandra or like any of these heroes. And for me, Aphrodite can also counter curse. Yeah, so I think this is all the things I want to talk about for the celestial trial. And okay, another thing. So for the options, the bonus that you need to select, I always select the top one. I don't. I can see sometimes. Uh, I can imagine sometimes maybe the bottom two effect can be better, but according to my experience, it haven't been the case like at all. Like whenever I'm stuck, I can switch to the other ones, and when I pass, it's always when I'm selecting the top one. So like I'm not sure, but if you trust me, just do the top one. Yeah, and yeah. So again, I want to like illustrate the principle for the how to survive in this game. So in one of my previous video, it's still true by the way, it's not outdated. I said you can upgrade your gears like this because damage is the most important thing. Well, survivability is also important, but how you survive is not, since the damage in this game is so high to begin with. Like the way you survive is not by having more health and defense. The way you survive is by cheating, like by blocking enemy attack with holy shield, or dodge them, or use monarch to force enemies attack only their 30% of your health. Yeah. So that's so basically the defensive stats like basically defense and health doesn't matter as much in this game. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.